Technology is cyclical is a phrase uttered by a pager salesman in the show 30 Rock, in which the main character responds with, "No, it's not," on the basis of the statement's absurdity. It stuck around with me over the past few months and never fails to give me a chuckle. As I was shooting and combing through the raw input footage, where I continued to do this dizzy dance, spinning round and round my subject matter, the absurd phrase kept looping in my head over and over. That's when I turned the tables on myself and considered what the pager salesman's best argument could be. The first defense that comes to mind was the nostalgia cycle. We often look at nostalgia trends in 20 or 30-year cycles. We can look at the collective nostalgia for the 80s or 90s in recent memory. There has been lots of interest in being a 90s kid, while synthwave has become its own well-defined subgenre off the backs of the music of the 80s. Now, I've been hearing a lot of the youth talking about the early 2000s as having a Y2K aesthetic, it being very weirdcore or weird in its appearance. In terms of nostalgia for technology, society witnessed vinyl records coming back in vogue as a tangible commodity that you can display as a functional piece of art, a quality that was lost in the transition to its pragmatic MP3 brethren. Tape cassettes and even iPods have had a resurgence due to the aesthetic qualities of their spindles and wheels respectively. I literally can't spin pagers like those examples. The other cyclical defense that comes to mind is the hype cycle, a model that assesses where emerging technologies are in terms of the industry and their progress in application and wide adoption. There is usually a large dip in interest between the initial peak of expectations and the level plateau of widespread use. Gartner calls this the Valley of Disillusion, where the excitement of the future rolls down to a small set of use cases. I think the interesting connection between the two of these ideas is the new understanding that the technology could be better utilized for a different functionality than initially thought. CRT TVs are incredible machines that will essentially just never be made new in a factory again. But if your concern isn't resolution, there is a wide established set of cases that old CRTs can do better than your LED television, for cheaper. For instance, the retro video game scene loves them because they virtually have no input lag. Sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel, just reuse the one you already have. In terms of what this means for my emerging technology of choice, I've been trying to read the tea leaves for a while now, and I think immersive media is walking through the valley right now. In terms of 3D scanning techniques, such as Gaussian splatting, it is easier than ever to make and view them on modern smartphones, long as you have a server or a powerful computer to churn them out. When your average smartphone can make a video into a 3D scan locally, preferably built right into the operating system, that would be a game changer. The best camera is the one in your hand, so the best 3D camera would be your smartphone, up until the moment when your prescription glasses can also be your smartphone. To cycle back to our thesis point, I don't think we've really mounted any defense for the pager. Perhaps there is a crowd out there that likes the text, but that doesn't like any of the other functionalities that smartphones can provide. In reality, the wheels of time waits for nothing, and that an old technology has to provide something, some benefit over the new, to have a revitalization. And that's a spin as old as technology itself.